I'm gonna go ahead and hi Bug. That was fast. Look at you. Thank you for being on standby like that. Shout out Bug Love. Dang, you were fast, bro. Not expecting that. Let me see. Pulling up. I have some questions already written in my notes app. I'm gonna just kind of wait a minute for the notifications to go out, and I have kind of mentioned this. Oh shit. Guess who forgot to tweet again? My guys, I swear, I am such a professional. Hey. Well, thank you. Hey, Jess. Hello, hello. Yeah, I was in FFG's chat for a little bit. I'm interested. I did not know she was going to react to me. Curious to see how that goes. But hey. Look, if I'm going to say I'm pro reaction channels, I have to just deal with any negative thoughts too, right? That's all I can do. But I'm genuinely intrigued to see what she thinks of me as a person. Hi. Well, thank you for commenting. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you. Yeah, I told you guys. Well, I told my Instagram at least. I just gotta wait for my hair to grow in a little bit. It's been about a week. And see, I wasn't wrong, right? What am I doing? Oh, tweeting. I'm such a professional. Thank you, JB. Yeah, I wanted to support her because initially on my last live, I did mention her because, like, as I said then, I didn't know it. I knew, like, bits and pieces about the stuff in the past, and I had some thoughts about it, but I wasn't, like, talking shit or anything. And so I briefly actually DM'd her earlier, and I was like, I had been wanting to, like, hop in on a live while she was live to kind of catch a vibe. And I actually really was entertained, and I was like, okay, because the brief moment I had been in a live previously, she used terminology I didn't, like, love, you know, but we all have our own opinions and things of that nature, right? So yeah, I was just kind of like interested, and I was like, sure, I'll send some super chats and just kind of like vibe for a second. Okay, I need to focus on tweeting. Rosalind, I swear. Okay, live on YT, come hang, and then I'll tell you guys what I'm having for dinner. I am gonna eat for a minute because I actually I had a really light breakfast, and then I worked out and I recorded it. That's gonna be Monday's video. Tomorrow's gonna be a cook with me vlog. It's already basically edited. I just have to do the voiceover portion for that video and kind of figure out what the hell I'm going to talk about. And then, because I did like silent filming. And then, so far I've kind of been uploading Monday through Thursdays, which I'm not committing to that schedule. But that's kind of what's been happening. Like, you know, I'm going live today, so that's considered an upload, right? And so, things have been going really well for that. Let's see. Hi. I'm live hopping, fair enough. I've had this scheduled for a while. If I hadn't had the time promise of 8, I probably would have stayed in FFG's chat. Because I was low-key, I was having fun in there. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I super chatted someone else for the first time today. And then the other ones were the ones I sent to her. Because I was in Breezy's chat when she hit 10K today. So congrats to Breezy on that. I love her. My God. That woman is so sweet. Come hang out. Rosie, shut up and tweet, goddammit. Here, share, copy link, bet. All right. Yes! Airdrop did its thing. Okay, so live on YT, come hang out. And then I never posted on IG. Can I access my IG stories from my iPad? Let's find out. Do I even still have IG on here? Shit. Well, looks like IG is just not getting notified. Oops. All right. Okay, so I want to show you all my dinner. This is a partial sneak peek to my vlog tomorrow. This is my ham green beans that I made with cauliflower rice. So it's like a bunch of voluminous eating. It's almost entirely vegetables in this bowl. In fact, I was worried I didn't have enough protein with the ham. So something I eat all the time are these smoked sausage links. They're basically like a sausage beef jerky from Tillamook, the zero sugar. So good. I've tried the teriyaki and the original, and honestly, they're greasier and they're not as good. I prefer the flavor of the zero sugar. And then my side is I'm having a strawberry Greek yogurt with these thin addictive cookies are my favorite things. I love these so much. They have, I think, almonds, cranberries, and something called golden berries in them. They're so tasty. And frankly, I like dipping them into my yogurt. They're really good that way. So that's what I'm having for dinner. And some water. And I also grabbed a fun drink. I have my strawberry lemonade flavored beverage from Aldi. It's not, you know, 0 cal, but it's not like a sugar drink. So it's pretty good. I like it a lot. Let me see. Let me catch up on the chat. Well, so I'm not on any specific diet. Like, I actually do real intuitive eating. Anyway, but I digress. So I am trying to make better choices. In fact, I want to show, I'm going to probably talk about this in the video, but I used to have, and I didn't realize this until today, I used to have major discoloration on the side of my neck. Like, I had this, like, big brown splotch that I could feel when I put my fingers on it. And today I went like this, and I was like, huh? And I, like, looked in a recording I was making of myself, and I realized, like, it's completely gone. So I did some research on myself. I went way far back on my IG story. I'm sorry, I'm telling the story slightly wrong. I was rewatching old highlights, and that's when I remembered I used to have the brown spot, and that's when I checked it. So I misremembered that part. But I'm so bad at keeping a single train of thought going, I swear. And then that's when I hopped back into Instagram stories, and I checked from 4 weeks ago because I realized it looked better, but it was still there. It's like gone. And that's directly correlated. It's been about 2 weeks of doing the no fast food challenge, and in that 2 weeks I've been way stricter about sugar and stuff. Like, you know, yesterday I let myself have an ice cream cone. It was pretty lit, but frankly afterwards I felt kind of crappy. So it's like, I don't know, I probably will eat ice cream again, but I like doing it that way because it's, you know, portion. It's harder to, like, eat a fast amount. Yeah, I do talk really fast. I really do. It's a chronic thing. I'm sorry. I'm not a weight loss channel, and I'm not going into specifics, but I did weigh myself today, and I am in a deficit, so that's pretty lit. That's really all I want to say on that. But a doctor did tell me at some point that that was related to, like, blood sugars. I don't remember the technical term for that, but there is a technical term for it. So, side note, this was plain cauliflower rice. So I added about, like, a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of pesto and about probably roughly a tablespoon of garlic puree, and it had some extra virgin olive oil in it, and then salt and onion powder. So since I used the garlic puree, I would have also used garlic powder, but I didn't. Yeah, I definitely have experienced insulin resistance for sure. For sure. But yeah, my mom is also has some of the same issues that I do. And so she likes to buy those ice cream cones because it's, like, portioned out ice cream. And my brother really loves them. He's, like, obsessed with them. He eats how he eats. But yeah, I love pesto. In fact, when I make, like, wraps and stuff or, like, sandwich spread, I love to mix pesto, garlic puree, like keepy mayo, seasonings, and sometimes, like, a spicy mustard. Super good. But yeah, I'm gonna eat for a second. Does anybody have any, like, questions for me? Preferably, like, outside of weight loss would be, like, just about me as a human being. So when I used butter beans, I, like, blended them into a sauce. What kind of hobbies do you have? I like to color. Definitely I treat Instagram as a hobby. I like to write. I definitely, YouTube's a hobby. I mean, it isn't my decision. I live with family, so I'm not going too in depth about the moving stuff because it's just not necessary. It's not drama, it's not tea, it's just, like, my business, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes I do struggle with, like, wording things, and sometimes I word things in weird ways. Thank you. I love this motherfucker so much. But yeah, it's not something crazy. I mean, the initial like concept of me needing to move out sooner wasn't because of me. I would prefer to be able to stay longer. But this house is cramped. There's like, you know, it's seriously like, you know, no drama or anything. Where do I like to shop for clothes? If FFG tears you apart, will you unmod Salty Shannon? I like Shannon. I'm not going to judge Shannon based on another person's character. If FFG tears me apart, that's her prerogative. I hope she would view me in my own lens and not view me on the lens of like other people that she reacts to. I like Shannon. She's been good to me. And I don't judge someone off of the actions of the people around them. Unless it's like I would probably judge someone who is friends with, like, you know, booty booty, but someone who's like a racist, a bigot. But anyway. Thank you, Enchanted Rose. I'm 31. And Lala, like, honestly, I feel like some of the questions you're asking are a little invasive. So I'm not gonna continue down that path. Like, no disrespect, but it doesn't really matter. It's not super necessary to, you know, what I'm sharing on the internet. I don't plan to have my family heavily involved in my videos. So I like to protect the people in my life. Definitely for the next year. I mean, probably my life is super up in the air right now. So I do travel, not as much as I would like. As I'm getting healthier, the inflammation pain is reducing and things are getting better. I'm hoping to do so much more of that. Like, I don't really have any weight loss goals. My goals are like, I want to be able to skydive, I want to go horseback riding, and I want to ride roller coasters. If I can do those things, I'll be happy. I'm in the US, I'm in Florida. I have some pre-written out questions from like previous Q&As I deleted off of my Instagram highlights just because they were clunky and hard to watch. You looking pretty, thank you. Oh, Rosie, I am curious about the theater community you were involved in and how you ended up there. Do you think one of these days you'll tell us about it? Absolutely. That's one of my goals. To start, I can tell you I was groomed into it. For one, it's a really dark story. But, yeah. I'm debating about going in depth about it right now because I'm eating. Yeah, I think I'll wait. But also, I think I'm going to take the time to, like, write things out. Hey, Raleigh. And, like, make sure I got my timeline right. Because my memory is super faulty. I have short-term memory issues. I'm much more of a free spirit, Megaluzin. Did you have an evil bishop, too? That's an interesting way of wording that. I totally get what you mean. I've seen all the stories on the ex-Mormon subreddits. But, honestly, I feel like most of the men that led in my ward specifically were, I eat on camera. I'm not going to be doing, like, mukbangs and shit. I'm eating green beans and cauliflower rice, my guy. But I did have a really uncomfortable experience being, like, interviewed when I was a teenager. Mormonism is very similar to Freemasonry. I don't know much about Freemasonry. So Masonry. I think I saw some documentaries and stuff. Do you have any pets? No, I haven't had any since mine passed away. It's been many years. A huge sexist cult. Your bird's not mine. But yeah, I mean, no, I've spoken out about, you know, mukbanging and stuff, so I understand the sentiment of that comment, Michael. That's why, I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to mute him unless he were to press it, right? But I'm in agreement to cauliflower rice. Bottom line is, feeders don't, you know, to that. So, period. They want the multiple sandwiches and the fast food and the soda. I'm drinking water. It's fine, guys. Please don't fight in my comments. Kumbaya. Would you ever want to dye your hair a rainbow color? Yes! Yes, Jess, I would. I want tie-dye hair, but I don't know if my hair could handle it. Yes, I'm showing you guys recipes tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it. I experimented. I actually followed a YouTube comment I saw about sweet potatoes. Oh, see, you guys are making up. Look at that. We love peace vibes. Thank you. This is an Eloquy dress. Very similar to a Torah dress I own, but cuter, in my opinion. Guys, stop. Drop it. It's fine. I get it, but like at the same time, I have spoken out about eating and stuff in revolving veganism. I understand the correlation, so it's okay to ask that question. But I'm a human being who makes lifestyle content, and in life you eat. Yeah, I had a moment where I got my is my notes app like not gonna update? The fuck? It's stuck on May 15th. Here we go. Okay, I closed it out. There we go. Q&A questions. Okay. I met Ruth in plus size communities in Georgia. I don't know if they're in here, if she's in here. We're still Facebook friends. I really like her. Someone in the Girl World community who commented on my video saying that they knew me, because I do. We met in person. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I am uploading a workout video on Monday. It's 40 minutes unedited. It's going to probably be close to like 30, 35. I might cut down some of it. Honestly, I kind of want to make it like a workout with me. It's going to be a voiceover, and I'll show a screenshot of my playlist that I use. Because of copyright, I put them in my headphones. And I'm just going to talk all over it. Oh, cool. I just don't want to speak too much to it. I don't know how much she wants business out there. Let's see. Are you worried if you put out workout videos, people will think you're a weight loss channel? That's a valid point. That's a valid point. At the end of the day, I think what I really want to drive home is I'm not trying to sell a promise to you guys. I'm not trying to say like that I don't want to get lost in the sauce of ED culture and dieting and stuff, because I very much get that way very easily. And I think, and I'm glad you asked that, because I think what I'll do in the voiceover is I'll kind of talk about that a little bit and talk about how, you know, my goal here is like, movement is movement. And it's so important after like a lifetime of sedentary lifestyle and being so afraid of movement, to be so afraid of pushing myself and making myself feel uncomfortable or feel the pains within my body. from whether it be nerve pain or just, I very much subscribe in the belief of the body source trauma. And so I also had like asthmatic issues as a child that was exacerbated by exercise. And a lot of people hear that kind of thing and assume it's like bullshit, but it was just my reality, and it contributed to my weight gain as a kid. I mean, by the time I graduated high school, I was over 400 pounds. So when I say my ED as a kid was serious, I mean it. It was very serious. And it was very complicated, and it had a lot to do with the fact that I didn't tell anyone what happened to me when I was 6 until I was 18. So there's a lot of unchecked stuff. I was in therapy from the age of 10. So, at the end of the day, movement is movement. And even if your goal isn't weight loss, it's important. It's important. I don't want to lose my mobility. I really don't. And I'm not delusional. I know that weight reduction is necessary. I understand that. But I'm also working against a lot of mental health stuff. And I can't keep moving forward in life using my mental health in the necessary measures of trying to heal that and putting my physical health on the back burner. I'm finally mentally strong enough to be doing what I'm doing. And I'm really proud of myself to finally have the confidence to be on a public platform like YouTube, where there's much more scrutiny than my cute little Instagram followers and my stories, because it's I have a lot of followers, but there's only a certain amount of people that'll sit there and watch my spam posts, you know what I'm saying? But they're people that really like care about my journey and support me. A lot of them have been here for the past decade of my life, and those people mean a lot to me. Even if I don't really talk to some of them, I know their usernames and they mean something to me. They mean a lot to me because they've been there when I've gone through some insane shit, and can vouch that I'm not lying about some things that I've publicly posted online. There isn't a record of it because I didn't post it on a platform that archives it. Hey guys, if you ever see comments like that below, please immediately block them and remove them. That's really fucked up to do. I don't know if you're allowed to know that, but when people post comments like that, it's to purposely traumatize people, to try to make them paranoid or be scared. A lot of people do that for fun to people that have like DID or things like that, to trigger them. Thankfully, it doesn't negatively impact me too much specifically, but it's a really grotesque thing to do to a person. So if you ever see that, I just removed it. It was like, who's that behind you, is what they said. It's a thing incels do. But I was letting my mods know that. Yeah, you didn't see it because I removed it with a swiftness. Thank you, Skinny. One second. I am. It is very weird behavior. You are correct. Thank you, Camby. So I saw some questions earlier asking me, am I dating? Am I single? Okay. So what I've been saying a lot recently is I'm 100% single and I'm 100% emotionally unavailable. As of some recent events in my life, I have now determined that I'm 100% single and 90% emotionally unavailable. I've been off dating apps for over a year. I think dating apps are stupid. I think they are just a way to convert dating and commodifying relationships into another social media app style dopamine hit game where people just try to collect each other on Snapchat like baseball cards. I think it's fucking whack. I'm over it. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time. And I firmly believe that I will meet someone I'm meant to be with in another capacity. And I'm so sick of the way people treat dating in the current dating scene. I was in a relationship for almost 8 years. That was its own thing. And I recently went on a trip. I might regret this. Actually, I don't care. I went to go see my ex on said trip. And it was a really good trip. But things changed when I got back. And I decided that I wanted to cut off communication. Maybe permanently. Yeah, I have opinions about Amberlynn. I think I'm going to be careful about when and what I say about her. Because, I mean, I just made the FB video. And like I said, my channel is not planning to go in the direction of being like a reaction to Girl World. I'm not trying to... I know a lot of this community would probably thrive on if I were to try to like stir up drama. That's not my goal. I really believe everything I said about Foodie. I think she's an atrocity to the platform. I think she's dangerous. I think Amber's a liar. And I think that, I mean, I've been a long-time Zachary Michael fan. I have a lot of opinions about ALR. Especially because my first exposure to her was being compared to her in 2015. And a lot of people think we look alike. A lot of people don't recently, which I was like, oh, cool, thank you. Because a lot of, like, I was one time commenting on some YouTube channel with my old profile pic from 2015. Like, some random channel, had nothing to do with any of this. And someone asked me, like, oh, where'd you get that picture of ALR for your profile pic? And I was like, bro, that's so offensive to me. Like, damn. I mean, truthfully, my hair was a lot longer. And it was filtered and stuff. And I have big brown eyes. And, you know, we are the same archetype, me and Amber. You know. But Zach and I became mutuals a while back because he saw me on a particularly funny day of my Instagram stories. And we've talked a little here and there, but I really appreciate who he is as a person. Frankly, the biggest reason I love Zach so much is him reacting to ALR is what has led me to be to the point where I'm at today in so many ways. It required me to put so much self-reflection into myself. Because he did it in a way that wasn't fat-phobic, that wasn't just to, like, clown on a fat person. It was critical of what she does, because it's messed up a lot of the time, but when he would react to other parts of her that I related to, like regarding the eating or the this or the that, or like the certain ways she phrased things that were definitely ways I phrased things within my own disorders. You know, I myself have flip-flopped on like what diagnoses I do or don't have because medical professionals can be very confusing. So, I have compassion for Amber. It's not a lot, but I have some. I have 0 for the other one. But he is very intelligent. I really enjoy him as a human. I watch like everything he uploads. Like, I found him on the rabbit hole of the 1,000-Pound Sister videos because I don't really watch the show, but I've seen enough TikToks and like other media about them that I have a general vested interest in who they are. Okay, let's talk disability for a second. So I'm going to clear the air about a couple things. Just because there is some, like, misconceptions of people that aren't, like, fully looking into me or whatever. I'm currently on short-term disability, which is a benefit I pay for through my full-time job. There was a time when I went through really serious trauma in, like, 2019, 2020, where I did not work for a while. And I eventually, when I moved here, I spent some time rested. And then I got a part-time job for a little bit. And then I used that job to launch me into my current job. Yeah, she's not nearly as problematic. I completely agree. They have their separate problems, right? But it's just one far outweighs the other in problematic behavior for so many fucking reasons. What was I talking about? Shit. Lives, I can't edit out my ADHD moments. Or, I can't edit out my ADHD moments on live, so Thank you. Thank you. So, I was hospitalized at the end of April for psychiatric reasons. My physical health, beyond the undiagnosed diabetes, that was, I think, contributing to what led me into the hospital. Hey, is there any managing mods that can figure out how to limit to subscribers only? Because I couldn't figure out how to do it on my phone. I could do it in my premieres, but anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, so I've been doing the short-term disability thing and going to intensive outpatient as well as biweekly psych appointments, and I was in therapy and doing therapy, and I'm going to be going back in, but I had to switch. Well, I didn't have to switch therapists. I switched therapists because the one I actually wanted was finally available and wanted to take me on as a client, and the one I was assigned to was fine, but I felt like I could find a better fit. And I'm restarting therapy for the first time in about a year. I think a little less than. Okay. So, anyway, I do not count my weight as a disability. I have enough disabilities that I don't need to, neurological and otherwise, that are legally registered and understood to be disabilities. So I'm using my benefits, taking the time to work on myself, and that's one of the reasons why I've had all this extra time to really invest and put into my channel. I'm very excited about it. So I had a really horrific experience with Inpatient in Georgia in 2020 because I was uninsured. It was really traumatic, and I was essentially and I will go into this detail about this one day, but I was essentially medically kidnapped, signed something when I was not lucid based on the medications I was provided. They didn't transfer over the medications. I experienced bed-induced psychosis for the first time due to medical malpractice. I'm now more susceptible to it because of the medical malpractice. I was denied therapy in an inpatient institution and told, and I quote, "We don't do that here." A lot of other really horrific things happened I won't get into on this live. So after that experience, I said I will never do that again. I will never go back, blah, 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 blah. And then recently, in near the end of April, I had a really unfortunately awful thing happen on the internet, and I was bullied into the psych ward, essentially, to put it down really bluntly. And I went ahead and made the decision after all that experience to go do that. And then at this point, I just went ahead and finally impulsively decided to give up the control, hand over my phone, and stay as long as they told me to stay, which was 5 days. And that's where I got the clarification of my diagnosis. I met an incredible psychiatrist who believed me and worked with me and really understood me and provided me a lot of great therapy tools. I hate doctors. I'm terrified of them. I have so much medical trauma. I'm censoring a lot right now, to be honest with you guys. I have a lot of medical trauma. And, there is a lot of it that's rooted in fat phobia, but it's not all that. It's not. And it's just, there's a lot of factors to it. And so, for me, at this stage in the game, I'm just focusing on healing and being my best me. So that's why it is very scary. And that's why at the end of the day, someone like ALR, I sympathize with. I do. I really get it. I get why it's so scary and hard, but there's other things I don't get. So, yeah. If someone's being rude multiple times, okay, is there a way to block people? Because I don't even see that option. But yeah. If someone's being rude, like that kind of rude, just auto block them. Like if someone is just being like a little snooty, whatever. But if they're like just flat out trolling, block them. Got you. Thank you, Amanda. So, anywho. Okay, Bug. Sure, I got you. Here, there we go. You didn't trigger me. I'm actually not triggered right now. I'm really good. But honestly, thank you, Stoner Files. But honestly, you know, I've been bullied so much in my life, on and off the internet. The most recent situation affected me so deeply because it was like someone I considered a dear friend who turned on me very publicly and very maliciously for a very petty reason. And it's like, the reason is so insane that I'm still sometimes like, I'm like, I can't believe that happened. And especially when like I wasn't even the one that cut off the friendship, and then they were mad that I wasn't upset about it, which is, for someone a decade older than me, just wildly immature behavior. If you, Lori, or anybody in the chat, if you guys are seeing certain words repeated a lot, I'm trying to be careful about how much I'm looking at the chat, because I wanna focus on the conversation, and I don't want it to impact me negatively, which is their goal, right? So if you see certain words and you want to forward them to me, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that person, West Coast. If you know who I'm talking about, please and thank you. But it's impossible for me to talk about my journey without talking about what happened. That monster's name is never leaving my mouth. Anyone who posts revenge P of someone is a monster and an abuser, and they always will be. I have the receipt, so they want to try to say something? I have the receipt. I'll leave them alone if they leave me alone. That's the bottom line. I used to have a lot of compassion for Eugenia. Now I'm just mad. She's old enough, and I know that she's got an extraordinarily abusive relationship with her mother regarding Eugenia, and she's clearly very ill. But she's very irresponsible in how she shares herself online. She does not care about how she impacts other people. It's hard to look at her, not in a she's ugly way, or not in a to be cruel way, but in a triggering way. It's hard to look at her. Thank you. Eugenia hasn't said anything. Eugenia doesn't know I exist. I'm just giving my opinion. Someone asked me. I avoid your content. I think the reason why Eugenia may be considered more dangerous than FB is because I think, on like a societal standard, her body type would be more easily preferred or seen as goals in a disordered eating mind than a plus size person. You know? Yeah, that's like the biggest issue with a lot of the people online that are dangerous in their behavior, is the severe lack of self-awareness. Almost every therapist I've ever had has told me I have an alarming amount of self-awareness. I drive myself insane. So. Yeah, and her audience is young. That's a big factor. I don't think Chantal has a young audience. Yeah. Eugenia, yeah, someone just asked for my thoughts on Eugenia, guys. Diane, I understand, like I said, she has an exceptionally abusive relationship with her mom. So, like, when I say I have some empathy, I do. And I definitely used to. Like, especially during the Shane Dawson documentary, which he was so exploitative to do that so soon. But we all know he sucks. Smooth. What is your favorite shows? Oh, hey, Miami. I DM'd you on Facebook, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it. But, favorite shows. Honestly, I don't watch a ton of TV. And when I do, I tend to stick to my, like, comfort shows. Recently, my main rewatch right now has been That 70s Show. And I kind of occasionally flip back to Lie to Me. I love Lie to Me so much. As a teenager, when that show came out, it's like a show about this, like, you know, genius guy who can, like, read liars expertly or whatever, and has a consulting firm or whatever regarding that. Oh, okay, I figured as much, Miami. I knew you were going to get to it. And I'm 31. I'm open about that. Favorite color? I struggled. People might find this as a cop-out, but truly, I think my favorite color is tie-dye. But beyond that, I do love sunshine yellow, some different blues. Literally, as a kid, I taught myself how to, like, read people better from that show, because I did, like, additional Googling and research and stuff at the time, because I really struggled with people and relationships and stuff because, you know, the undiagnosed autism. And so I really, like, clung to that show so heavily, and I probably took it a little too seriously at that age. I'm a Sagittarius. Cancer moon, Taurus rising for the astrology babes in here. That's awesome. You essentially become a polygrapher. Yeah, more or less. Like, it's an imperfect science. Yeah, agreed. Agreed about the disgust. Absolutely. I think I have heard of Observer. I love Sagittarius people. Thank you. Oh, Cancer Sun, Sag Moon. Oh, hey, we're like yin yang. Yeah. I hear you. But yeah, I have a vested interest in, like, creating content, and I don't read tarot, but I have a friend that does. I've heard the name Sagittarius Shadi. I don't know anything about her. We might be similar if we're both Sagittarius and look similar. I'm not sure. I plus size creator, I believe, right? I'm surprisingly getting, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this bowl. Look at me. I was being a more voluminous eater. I wasn't sure. I'm getting kind of full, so I'm going to stop. And I'll save the other 2 sausage links, and this might be my meal for later since I've only had 2 meals today. But I'm going to eat this now because I want this. I'll save that for later. I do drive. I have a driver's license. I've been driving since I was 19. I've road tripped. Look. I don't let my weight stop me unless I literally can't. I flew. What? Like 3 weeks ago? To be fair, to be transparent, I don't have my own car yet. I do share one though. But when I say I lost everything, and I've been rebuilding my life. And with my current lifestyle, owning my own car, especially in Florida, would be such a financial drag. Insurance here is insane. And I just don't drive a ton. So I share the van with my mom. And that's one of my goals, is to save up money to get my own car. I've got a lot to figure out, a lot to do. I feel pretty behind in my life for my age, but you know what? My comeback story is going to be pretty lit. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Big Toe, but I'm a crystal bitch. I mean, I take all of that with a grain of salt. I don't take it as, like, fact. I take it as spiritual guidance, like people take the Bible. I do like reading fiction ever since some more recent trauma and, like, head injuries and stuff. It is more difficult for me to read. I used to be super hyperlexic and read a lot as a kid. Like, I was reading Harry Potter at the age of 8. And I am anti-JK Rowling. This was prior. But Harry Potter was a massive part of my childhood. And the bottom line is, like, there's a lot of scammers out there. But at the end of the day, I've gotten a lot of spiritual comfort and guidance through it, and I appreciate it for what it does for me. And I just think it's important to have a healthy relationship within any spiritualism, organized religion or not. I am an ex-mo. Yep. Ex-mo, ex-Mormon. Yeah. Don't mind me using this as my yogurt spoon. I'm not surprised you're a Sagittarius. Yeah. Yeah. I have the vibes. I don't know a lot about Life by Jen. My plan is to be me and let my actions speak for itself. At least it's not a back scratcher. Is that lore I don't know? That sounds like lore I don't know. Oh, okay. If you could contact me somewhere with that info, Twitter DMs, Insta DMs, whatever, I'm down to look into that. You're very sweet. Life by Jen was very snarky. Isn't that the person that passed away? Oh my god, she did what? Of course she did. Why am I surprised? Since being, like, thrusted into girl world Twitter, I've learned some things I wish I never knew. I will say that. After using it? I just take metformin. Thankfully, I caught it very early. My diabetes is very, like, not serious. I mean, diabetes is, in and of itself, a problem, obviously. But in the severity scale, it's pretty low. I'm very thankful for that. I'm not talking about my weight details online. Hun, you're so animated. I am. And I'm not going to pretend I'm not. I'm very animated. Some people hate it. No, I wish. I bought that, and then I didn't even realize that I unfortunately bought it from, like, a non-native vendor, and I regret that. And I talked to one of my followers who, like, very, like, lovingly called me out about it. And I realized I made that mistake, and she said it's better that I just keep it and enjoy it than, to just toss it. But I'll be definitely more careful in the future. I just saw it and was obsessed with it because I love tie-dye so much, and it brings me so much joy. But it's more home decor than it is like an official dream catcher, which are very serious and dear to Native American culture. choked on my cookie. Not the cookie. Maybe. I would like to get married if I met the right person. I'm very picky about who I allow in my life nowadays. It's just my journey I'm documenting. I'm actually very transparent about not being a weight loss channel. If you watch my first video, my life is involving weight loss, but it's absolutely not my number one focus. And I know that confuses a lot of people, and I get it. But all I can do is let my journey speak for itself. Yeah, I'm full. I'll probably eat the rest of this with maybe like toast or something for my third meal of the day. I have a weird sleep schedule. No problem, Sky. Happy to help. Picky is good. Because I just think that people that assume that no one's attracted to fat people just doesn't understand how the world works. Like, it's really interesting coming from the world that I live in, or the world that I lived in, excuse me. Because, like, I've experienced both sides of extremity of, like, being treated like a monstrous, subhuman, just disgustoid by people, and being treated like a god that should be worshipped and praised and literally, like, thrown money at, and the extremes of those two worlds have really given me a lot of insight on how people view fat people. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's fascinating to say the least. I've had some experiences. I'll leave it at that. You're cute even though you're fat. I can see why people like you. I don't quite know how to register that comment as a positive or a negative. Because, I know a lot of people in this channel are going to agree. I think fat's beautiful. I think any body is beautiful as long as their soul is. And I think everyone deserves self-love. I think everyone deserves to feel good in their bodies and to feel beautiful and pretty. And I think we put far too much weight and value in the vapidness that is our physicality. I like you because you're open. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I was in a very loving relationship that had its problems for reasons that had nothing to do with how I looked. In fact, that was, frankly, never mind, I'm not going to go there. I'm glad. I mean, hey, if you guys want something semi-controversial, I'm super anti-weight loss surgery, and I always will be. I respect anyone who makes the decision to do that. I'm trying to do it in other avenues because at the end of the day, with like my eating disorder issues and my mental health issues, for me, I don't think weight loss surgery is a tool that I should ever access. I started the process 3 times throughout my 20s. Every time, very quickly. I didn't get very far in the journey. I would back out. And I mean, I think the only reasons I was starting it a lot is my dad is like post-op almost 20 years now. I can count probably 7 family friends off the top of my head that have had it with varying results and successes. But for me, no one can convince me or make me understand how the surgery of amputating your stomach and reducing your calories in that way is any different than being an anorexic. I don't understand it. And again, I know that might be controversial. People laugh at me about it or whatever, but it's still a severe calorie restriction. I'm seeing people in my life who have had that weight loss surgery so many years out and how it affects them in aging with the lack of being able to absorb the nutrients from the food, especially people that got the duodenal switch. I don't know if that's still one of the surgery options, but at the end of the day, I respect anyone that chooses that path. I think, you know, whether it's you're doing Ozempic, or you're doing that, or you're dieting or whatever, it's like everyone's bodies are different. Everyone, just like an asshole, has an opinion, and everyone's able to make the decisions that they need to make that's best for them. I'll be honest, I'm not even really reading the comments right now because I want to get my point across without, you know, seeing people just, you know, probably assuming, invalidating me. But because people don't want to hear that kind of thing from someone that looks like me. But I just think it's like when I think about it like on a scientific level, whether you're eating 800 calories because your stomach got amputated, or eating 800 calories a day because you're severely restricting, I do not understand. And I don't think that there's enough research about the long-term effects of weight loss surgery. I don't think, I like the joint pain, the bone issues, things like that. I just don't think I don't think those are taken seriously enough. And that's my view of it. And so I have no plans. Oh, thank you, Tweet T. I was like, wait. And the first part I was like, wait. And I was like, oh, okay. I respect your opinion. I can eat whatever I want. That's good. Yeah, my dad like explained to me how he retrained his stomach. His stomach's basically back to normal now. And he on paper is absolutely a success story. So yeah, I've seen a lot of issues about Ozempic. I've been pretty anti-Ozempic in the past. It is something that I have sitting on the table. It's in the far corner, slightly out of reach right now, but it's in the peripheral. I acknowledge that it's there, and things are going good for me right now, so that might be something like if I'm starting to plateau in my goals, I may consider. I really have mixed feelings about it, to be honest, but yeah. I believe I did. My memory's so shitty. I'm like 99% sure it was Ozempic that I tried back when I lived in Omaha, like 2007, 2018. I don't remember how long I did it. I remember having decent results, but I do remember it being expensive, and I know that might be the number one reason I struggled to maintain doing Ozempic for a long period of time. But, like, I mean, hey, if my careers change and my income changes in that level, like, the couple things that I would do is I would maintain a monthly kickboxing membership. I just can't afford right now. $160 a month. Holy shit. Shit's expensive. But I still have like I think 3 classes left. So you have strong will, you don't need Ozempic. Thank you. I really appreciate that sentiment. I also am a diabetic, so that's honestly another reason I'm considering it. Because it's supposed to help treat that. I did see someone say that it gave them type 2 diabetes, and that's a claim I'm curious about. That sounds wild. I'm not saying you're wrong, that sounds wild. It is, but it saved my heart. It was enlarged. It's a normal size now. What saved your heart? Hold on. That's scary. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh, congrats on that. See, yeah, that's the thing, is there's so much conflicting information out there. And yeah. That's how gastric bypass affected you. Okay, understood. Yeah, and I respect yours too. Truly, I'm not here to like tell people to go fuck themselves because they're doing what they feel is right for their body, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what's any different than that than versus choosing to like get your boobs done or get a nose job, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do that, you know, and if I'm cool with people doing that, I'd be a hypocrite to be like, you know, just because it's related to weight, then, you know, fuck that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I know. And like, and I have been in a way, and I've been doing a bit even better the past few days. And this weight loss challenge has been so motivating. I'm not making any promises when I say this. For the first time today, I was thinking, like, maybe I should just, like, cut fast food, period. But that sounds very scary. And, you know, maybe just, like, allowing myself to have it, like, as an occasional treat or something like that. Like, not, I don't know. It's just, like, because at the end of the day, when I've been eating certain things, I'm realizing, like, you know, if I buy, like, pre-made food, like pre-made mozzarella sticks or taquitos or whatever, and I air fry those, I don't feel that shitty. I don't. Like, it's not the best food option, but it kind of helps fit those cravings. I'm not restricting anything, but, like, going out to eat and getting, like, deep fried foods and certain types of food, like, afterwards, I just feel shitty. Like, I'm 31 now, and I think it's just, like, one of those things of, it's probably what's obviously best for me, right? But at the end of the day, we all have to go at our own paces. We all have to kind of like do what's best for like for us overall. So, thank you, G. I like that every other word you say isn't bitch, you're calming. Thank you. I do sometimes cuss like a sailor. Heads up. Just if I'm doing that, you might be like, oh, Rosie. But you know, I definitely try not to be crash just for the sake of being crash. She did a video. I love Selena. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it is. I have one of her palettes. I love her so much. I love her so much. She's a sweetheart and hilarious. We're already used to the curse words. Gotcha. You have a great personality. Thank you. I'm glad you don't care that I cuss. It's just, I haven't seen any feeder comments, but go off. Unless my mods are really on it, which, love you guys. Right, because at the end of the day, it's about the food choices, right? Because, yeah, you can get fat on homemade food, too. Like, how much of it you eat's a factor, how much oil you're putting in on it. And some days I cook way more restaurant style. Like, I'll add a little extra added sugar. I'll add a little extra oils, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. So my only friends, whenever I went through that stuff a couple months ago, I cleared out all that type of content well before I created this channel. And for a while, I was like, seriously just gonna be like, okay, well, I'll just like do non-edish stuff. I'm censoring myself here. I don't know how mad YouTube will get. I'll just do like being sexy stuff. And I did that for a minute. And then as I kept doing it, I just realized how much I didn't like it. And I've recently come to the conclusion / realization that I love this. I love YouTube. This is what I always wanted to do and didn't have the confidence to invest in the commitment to. I had the confidence to do it, but not to commit like I've been committed this whole startup. I'm mentally prepared, and I actually spent a lot of time like troubleshooting styles of expressing myself on my Instagram stories, so like longtime followers know about that. But I'm probably deleting my OF really soon. And I was actually going to announce that in a vlog after I did it. I just haven't actually pressed the buttons yet. But low-key, I've been kind of ass at that. I haven't been uploading. I haven't been updating. And, you know, I have so much trauma surrounding it. It's time I let it go. And I believe in myself. I believe that I'll be far more successful at this than I ever could have been at that. And I mean, I was successful. When I first launched, I made good money. And then when I burned the bridges, I lost a lot of that because I refused to play into the hands of that style of content. And I want to heal. And every time I log in and see that website, it's just a reminder of where I've been. And I don't want to be there anymore. So. Hi, Jill. Hi, guys. Thank you, Amanda. Yes. Oh my God. MVP of the day is Amanda. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so glad I modded you. You were doing really good. I forget who you're a mod for. I think it's Skinny. Oh, absolutely, Jenna. That's content, though. That's like a whole ass video or 5. Ah, yes! Hallelujah, Amanda. Help me figure that out later, too, bitch. I only call you bitch if I think of you as a friend. So, oh my God. Your daughter's name is Rosie? Aw. Yay. Love that. Oh, we don't need a timer. I'm cool with that. I don't have that many people in my live. I'm not H3 Productions over here. I don't watch that nearly as much as I used to. It's been a long time. I did see chunks of the Colleen stream, but no, I didn't. Oh, can someone block him? She's literally died. Let's not do that. That's gross. Like, she deserves more respect than that. Bitch is a compliment in my books, maybe because I'm a bitch. Hey, hey, hey. Good, please do. Oh, does this need to be cut? I think it does. I missed a strand this whole time. This is like wildly longer than the rest of my hair. Okay, look at that. Hold on. Pause, guys. There we go. Put that in the trash can. All right, there we go. Yeah, any trolls, anything like that, just feel free to give them the chop. Thank you. Yeah, 20 minutes or longer can send messages. Thank you. I do not know pretty much anything about Life by Jen, by the way, guys. So I think it's really important that we remain respectful of those types of scenarios. Like, she literally passed away. And that sucks. Like, like majorly, obviously. I think it's really disrespectful to behave in that manner regarding her. Thank you. It's addressed by from Eloquy. I bought it. What's her name? It's like Fat Posy Fairy or something. Her name's Rachel. She's really sweet. I'm probably butchering her username. I'm heavy-handed and quick draw with the wrench. Gotta protect the peace. Amen, bitch. Her fiance, okay. What's your dream job, YouTube? Y'all want to make my dreams come true? Subscribe. But no, really, though. I was into that. I wrote, if you guys want to scroll back on my community tab, I wrote a really heartfelt post about, and it has a picture of me when I was like 15, 16. I think I just turned 16 in 2007. Talking about YouTube and like kind of how I landed here. No, I haven't started a damn piece of laundry. Not a one. Not a single one. It's all right here. It's all right here. And we're probably not getting to that tonight, guys. Because I should probably do, no, it was not about me, y'all. She was talking about somebody else. She hasn't acknowledged me. She probably isn't going to, because I was too honest and too real. And acknowledging me would have to drive traffic to me. If she acknowledges me, she's more of an idiot than I would have assumed. Everyone's like, oh, she's gonna freak out. I'm like, I don't have enough subscribers for her to freak out. That's how she views it. I mean, she has to know about it by now. I mean, if FFG reacts to me, she might say something if FFG reacts to it. But I really am not expecting her to respond. I'm really not. And that wasn't even the reason. Like, I said what I said and I meant what I said. But, like, truly, it's like at the end of the day, yeah, in an ideal world, it'd be nice if people didn't react to her. But people aren't going to stop reacting to her. People aren't going to stop calling her out. And a lot of the reaction channels took issue with that sentiment that I stated. Because that was just my opinion. I mean, in an ideal world, yeah, if people stopped talking about her, that would be the best case scenario. But it's not the realistic scenario. And I was in FSG's chat, and I mean, hey, if that's what she does, that's what she does. At the end of the day, it's the YouTube game, right? So it's like, if she wants to criticize, that's fine. But if she told me out point blank that she agreed with a lot of what I said, but I'm sure she doesn't agree with everything that I said. I'm pro reaction channels. I'm anti copyright striking. I've been in the YouTube game as a viewer, a very dedicated viewer since 2007. I watch YouTube far more than I watch TV. I've been a part of several different communities. I've very familiar with YouTube culture. Vlogbrothers fucking raised me. You know what I'm saying? Like, better teachers than my school was in Georgia. And so at the end of the day, it's like, I was a lurker in Girl World for like 2.5 years. Y'all, like, I didn't come in this blind at all. I was scared to even utter the words Girl World until right around the time I was having my mental breakdown prior to going to the hospital. And so I think there's like a lot of dissenting and conflicting opinions about everybody, FFG, different reactors. There's been a lot of reactor drama. I'm just here for the vibes, all right? Like, I needed to get that off my chest, and like, I did not expect the video to blow up as quickly as it did when I made it, but I also just kind of, I'm not an idiot. I know what I look like. I know people expect from me. I know I'm not what they expect, and I know that my stance, my past that I spoke about in the video, where I've come from, my experience and my expertise around these topics gives me a very nuanced and important voice in this conversation. And I finally just took a stand and did it and ran with it. And so people want to think I'm clout chasing. Okay. Trust me, if I wanted to clout chase, I'm smart enough. I know how to do it way better. And I would, but it's not who I am. I want a real community. I don't want followers to just to have the numbers. I want people that give a fuck and want to check in on me whenever I upload and want to hang out in my premieres and want to come on live and chit chat and like be my little internet friends with me, like, and it's like, that's what I want. Like, would it be dope to get a bunch of subscribers and quit my job and make money, make real YouTube money and use that money to invest in myself, which would be investing in my content? Abso-fucking-lutely. Anyone who's joining YouTube who's like, oh, I don't really like attention, bullshit. You might be more introverted, but you like attention. You like the positive attention. You want the attention. Of course you do. But you have to be able to take the heat. And people are already, like, there was one reactor with, like, a very tiny following who reacted to my video and I popped in while they were live and was just ripping me to shreds. Holy shit. I was like, oh, wow. And it was purely based on my body. And I was like, okay, I see where this is going. And that's what I said. I was like, I see where this is going. I just thought I'd pop in, And they said something about me that, they were like, who are you? Like, you only got 2,000 followers, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just letting you know, like, I do have a platform somewhere else. Like, not to, like, whip out the social media dick, but, like, I have over 80K on Insta. I don't think I said that in the chat, but, like, I'm not just popping up out of nowhere, like, in that realm. I know on YouTube I'm a nobody, right? But, in terms of all of that. And then her instant response was to send me a StreamYard link. And, this person was just being vicious. And I wasn't hurting. I was just kind of like, damn, like, you hate Foodie so much, and so do I. And you're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're just, like, on the attack and, like, saying things about me. Because about my bypassing feederism, about, like, funnel feeding, things like that I would have never done. I never did that kind of stuff. I actually was very specific about my boundaries were really strict. And I didn't ever get into, like, I had friends that were doing, like, death fetus content, and that stuff's disgusting. And I regret how much of a people pleaser I have been, and how, like, I'm not giving clout to people that were crappy to me. I'm not going to say who it is. I was in the excitement of everything going on, I was searching my name a lot, obviously, like, as I don't think a habit I plan to keep forever, but like, this is all so new to me, and it's been so exciting, and I kind of just wanted to catch the vibe of like what the community thinks of me, and it seems to be majorly positive, and there are some reaction channels that have been far more critical of me than others, and they're totally welcome to do that. But like, this lady wanted me to get on her live stream so she could just verbally berate me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let you like verbally abuse me, like, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. That's crazy. And she took that as like she kept calling me precious. Like, oh, you think you're so precious? Yo, like, yeah, dude. Like, oh my god, I never fed into that shit. But death feederism is something I want to talk about because it's a section of the community that it's what it sounds like. It's a part of the kink where the extremity of the feederism is so that they want to stuff you and make you so fat that you die, that you're immobile, that you stop breathing. It's really fucked up. I probably should have put a trigger warning, sorry. But yeah, it's super fucked up. I never made content that fed into that shit. And I try to be vocal about it on the forum that exists. There's like a social media platform for feeders. I was on it for several years. I was a big part of the community. I had a presence. I had a name there. And I wasn't as big as a lot of other people. I want to make that clear. I was more considered amateur and underground because I didn't make any official platforms until the beginning of this year. I only did like underground content. And I basically would sell content at a much higher dollar value. But it wasn't accessible on the internet. You had to go directly through me. And in a way, it's like the way I would explain it to people back in the days, like, you know, I never did anything illegal in any capacity of that manner. But like when you think of high-end escorting, I kind of built the model around that of like you're paying more, but it's more exclusive. You see what I'm saying? And so it worked in my favor. And word of mouth was enough for me to make money. And so my model was a lot different than like the standard models. My model that I did as a model was different than the ones that the other models would do because they would use like places like OF, the clip sites, stuff like that. It's not a myth. It's what's crazy is the places that like online, like they, to make it like a safe space, they completely allow these topics to be fully like talked about and expressed without, like, if you say anything being like, yo, death freedom isn't cool, you could get like your post taken down. Like, and if you broke that enough times, they would like, you know, like post block you or whatever. Like, you weren't allowed to talk about weight loss. You weren't allowed to like dissent from extremism within the kinks. Like, and it took me so long to just realize how fucked up that was. And like how much of an echo chamber that created, and like just that I was complicit in that behavior by existing in it, and that didn't fully click until really recently for me. And I had such a toxic relationship within this community because that money was a safety net when I was broke. It kept me alive, you know. And it was like, and that's the thing, is there's so much toxic dependency within those dynamics. It's heartbreaking. It really is. It's heartbreaking. And I had the privilege of having a full-time job. A lot of these people are disabled. They don't have other ways of making money, and not just by their weight. Like, actually disabled. Like, having like health issues and all of that, and they don't have other choices. And so it just becomes this really gross power dynamic. And, you know, there's a lot of time in that world where I really believed that, like, it's what I wanted. But at the end of the day, it's like, just because you're changing the mental perspective, you know, from morphing I can speak for me, my BED, morphing it from a punishment into gratification and using terminology like stuffings instead of binging, you're still doing the same actions. And you're actually fucking yourself up more mentally. I'm not going to get too into specifics on that. But I'm willing to talk about my past and be open and honest about it. Because people need more education on it, I think. Because the stigmatization results in kind of furthering that stigma. Essentially, continues to kind of reinforce that, like, almost like cult mentality of, like, everyone's against us, they don't understand, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know, man. I'm an ex-mo, and there's a lot of similarities in how I feel leaving the feederism community versus how I feel leaving Mormonism. Obviously, very different circumstances and scenarios, and frankly, probably indicative of an overcorrection on my part. But like I said in my video, at least I had the sense to age gate it. I'm really thankful I've never uploaded a single mukbang on YouTube, because who I am now never will. Eating isn't inherently feeder content. That's what people need to understand. This is a bowl of vegetables. Feeders don't give a shit about that. Let me tell you what. How you eat it, how you talk about it, all of that is what matters. Thank you. They're my, they were fresh green beans. Oh, I won't spoil it. It's going to be in tomorrow's video. You'll see. They want, I mean, okay, trigger warning. I'm going to talk about some of my past behavior. One of my best-selling videos was the day I ordered from Dickie's, and I got a whole rack of ribs, a pound of sausage, and sides. And I ate everything except a good majority of the sides because they sucked. But that was the reason. You know, and the height of my eating disorder, one of my other videos, I ate an entire chicken pot pie, like a family-sized one, like a 10, 12 inch. And then I ended up eating more after that. So that's binge. That's a binge. Yeah, a pound of sausage and an entire rack of ribs, a 12 count. Like a full order. And I won't continue on that path, but that's my point, is like, when I talk about BED, that's not even the worst of what I've done. So, where I'm at now in life is a far better place. You know what's crazy? No, I didn't. My body was so used to it, I didn't get sick. Exactly, Erin. There is a big difference. Eat with me is fine, especially vlogging. And what you've seen on my content so far. Yeah, Charlie, I understand that. Mods, I know Charlie, so don't block what they say. Or what she says. I mean, yeah, I think YouTube's a passion, and I do have hobbies. I mean, social media has been a hobby for a long time for me. Yeah, BED does have a lot to do with emotions and control. Absolutely. It's hard. It's complicated. Oh yeah, stress eating is a big thing for me. I've been having a lot of stress eating issues recently, because I flip-flop a lot between, like, wanting to restrict, or wanting to, like, overeat, and it's exhausting trying to keep up with my own bullshit, to be honest with you. Yep, a lot of food in a short amount of time, exactly. And then I used to eat when I was bored, because of how things have morphed for me. I don't really do that as much, because I get so stressed out about eating nowadays that when I'm bored, I'd rather do pretty much anything else. I'm definitely a previous food addict. I don't feel like I'm a food addict anymore. Because I think food addiction is very much real. But I think food addiction is an entirely different beast comparative to, other addictions. because as many people say, like, you can't survive without eating. So it's an entirely different beast. Yeah, when I'm lack of sleep, that's when I overeat the most, for sure. But you know what's interesting is, when I did my intuitive eating like clinic stuff, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so when I did the intuitive eating disorder clinic stuff, bro, my brain is annoying. Food can be a real biatch. Amen to fucking that. Is it like a validation addiction? Ooh, Charlie, that's a really good fucking question. Because I definitely struggle with a validation addiction. I hate Tess. Tess Holliday sucks as a human being. Anybody that really knows her prior to her going mainstream knows that she's a scammer and not a good person. And maybe she's grown and she's better now. I mean, she doesn't give a shit about what my opinion of her is. She doesn't know I exist, right? Oh, I'm assuming she might have heard of me back in the day. But I mean, at one point she lied about her size. She's just not been a very transparent or honest person. She's been pretty sus, for sure. Validation trauma is real, and I live it daily, sadly. Amen. Have you done any type of energy healing ever, or like Reiki or EFT? I don't know what EFT is, but yes, I've done Reiki. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I find it very, very healing. I'm a very energetic person. I was talking about Tess Holliday, previously known as Tess Monster. I hate when I have to defend her from ignorant fat phobes IRL. I hate when I have to defend her from ignorant fat phobes IRL. What do you mean, Charlie? Like, people are just fat shaming her? I mean, yeah, I see that. Like, let's critique crappy people for who they are. I mean, and she might be. I've struggled with anorexic issues. What happened with that was I was diagnosed with BED that's what I was gonna fucking say. In the clinic, I was advised by the eating disorder therapist to not do intermittent fasting because based on my mental health issues, based on like the diagnostic criteria, if I did fasting, I was really susceptible to flipping to being anorexic, and I did not like what she said, and I did not listen to her. A couple years later, I was no longer fasting, but I ran into like money issues, life issues, food issues, and I became an anorexic because I went against medical advice. So listen to your fucking doctors. But fat people can be anorexic. I was a binge eater for the majority of my life. Being anorexic is about the behavior, not the body. Hey, Solo, it's okay. Oh, goodness. I'm glad you're out. I'm doing good. Ooh. Honestly, Florida's pretty fat friendly because there's a lot of fat people and disabled people here. And old people. I thought anorexia made you super skinny. So, that's a major misconception. Let's talk about it. That's a major misconception that has a lot to do with our media and societal like beauty standards. So let's talk about that for a second. Hold on, let me Google. I'm just going to read you the definition: anorexia nervosa. So in the definition, it says it is an eating disorder characterized commonly by low weight, food restriction, body image disturbance, fear of gaining weight, and an overpowering desire to be thin. So in the definition, it does list low weight, right? But the thing is, regarding that, that's not like the main criteria for it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it doesn't say that. Like, you guys can look it up too. But the thing is it's about the fear of gaining. It's about the fear of eating food. Because when you are someone of size like me, right, you know, if I've been bullied heavily enough, or, you know, when people are saying shit to me, like someone earlier in the comments said, how about a gym membership instead of eating? Because people look at me and they're like, oh, you should just starve. Go ahead and deal with the brain fog. Go ahead and deal with the shakiness. You should go ahead and pass out at work again. I mean, I had an ambulance called on me because I was starving myself. Am I not an anorexic because I'm fat? That was in 2019, I believe. Yeah. It's far more about the mindset and the behavior than it is about the body. It's far more common in lower weights in terms of like the extremity, and maybe there's better terms for it, because at the end of the day, regarding BED, there's still restriction involved. My common cycle was like not eating at all of day, waiting till the end of the day, and then eating and eating, right? But there was a period of time where like I would go days in a row eating sometimes under 500 calories in a day. You know, that doesn't make me any less anorexic just because I have a history that resulted in weight gain. I'm really glad to hear that, Sensi. Truly. And you gotta eat when you have diabetes. That's so true. And that's what's so hard about it is, like, especially when the food doesn't make you feel good, you don't even want to eat it. Exactly. Then having anorexic and BED, you won't lose weight. Exactly. So that's the problem. Like with the fat phobia and everything is like, well, that I discussed is like, so many people hear the term fat phobia and like they just close their ears off. They just like don't want to listen anymore. They like, oh, like it's just some fat fit bitch complaining about her problems. It's like, no. Like, listen to the nuance of what I'm saying. Listen to the entire message of what I'm saying, right? It's not about like, it's, at least for me anymore, it's not like a what was me type shit. It's not like a, oh, like, you know, I'm the victim type shit. I've been there in that mentality, but I don't, as someone who's lived in this body, I don't understand how people can't see that the world is like set up not only without people like me in mind, but entirely like almost to like ice us out, like to not be in I guess included. I don't know, but yeah, Bug, you're staying. Nothing about temporary mods. You're awesome, but then you can be anorexic for a week and then have a binge for the BED, then anorexic. It's a horrible cycle. Agent Strange, thank you. Like you don't matter, you don't exist. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, that hit deep. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Sorry. I was pulling on that mindlessly, not thinking. I apologize. You look very nice today. Thank you. I showered. So actually, I'm not wearing any makeup. Like, this is just my face. Hi, welcome to my face. I don't wear makeup a lot nowadays. Especially with my hand pain and issues and stuff. Okay, phone. Which is awful. We all have souls and hearts, and we all try to be a good human. Well, that's the goal, what we hope for. It's okay, you know where your nipples are? That's what I'm saying. Dresses like this, I don't have to wear a bra because this ribbing material holds them in place. And I never have, like that black dress that everyone was like wigging out about. Yeah, that's just what it looks like when I wear that dress. But, like I said, I know where my nipples are. They're well contained. They're not at risk of popping out. Because I don't want to talk about the size of my areola, you know what I'm saying? On the internet, we don't need to get into all that. I mean, fuck, if you do enough research, you can see that shit. Oh, I gotta stop talking sometimes. I swear to God, Rosie. We're used to being flashed, FYI. Yeah, no. I find that doing that on mainstream platforms is so gross. It's so gross. Like, good God. Anything for attention, am I right? Shit. Okay. I giggled at the word areolas. I'm sorry, I'm a child. Yeah, I've heard that before, though. I mean, I've never had a child, but... Wow. How the hell is she still monetized? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Like, people need to consent to that shit. See, that's what's so, like, crazy about that is, like, y'all don't consent to that. That's wrong. Hi, Tiny Fairy. But that's the bottom line is, like, on this platform, that's not what people consent to. Like, go do that shit on OF, man. People would subscribe. She would make money. Like, just don't pretend to be something you're not. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that person anymore. Yeah, I really struggle with that mega lose, and I actually find it extremely triggering, and it's really frustrating. Consent is sexy. Consent is sexy. I subscribe to that so heavily. God, consent is hot. Nothing like a, can I kiss you? Yes, please. Well, assuming I'm attracted to you. Yeah. We don't need to keep talking about her. Like I said, that's not where the direction of my channel. I said what I said. I meant what I said. God. Consent is sexy. Consent is so important to me. Consent's a hot button for me. I feel like my consent's, in jeopardy. That's where I come in hot. And, like, I'll just say this now. There might be a time where I get real pissed off about something and y'all see another side of me. This is who I am. This is how I portray myself to be. This is me being authentically myself. I don't like being the angry version of myself. I don't like being adversarial. It's not fun for me. It's not fun. It's not fresh at all. But I know I'm not perfect, and I could very well come on here and just be like super heated and intense about something in the future. So, I do have a very deep-seated amount of rage I've been working on in therapy and shit. But what would you call yourself? What do you mean? But I hope this isn't a weird question, but what would you call yourself? I need a little more clarity on that, my guy. I'm so nudist, but I'm always terrified of my camera turning on during lives. Rosie is human too. Amen. I missed some comments, I think. Nobody's ever said, can I kiss you to me, so I don't know. I feel you on that. It's not happened a ton of times, but when it does, whoo! Also in 2019, I had a 6-month phase where I really had a moment. That's what I'll say. Because I was single for that period of time. For like 9 months in 2019. I go by she, they. I thought I was non-binary, and I did some further reflection and research. I think the term that best fits me is agender, but I just don't care that much, which is kind of the point of agender. So I just think, she, they, whatever. It's a vibe. Oh, hold on. I'm missing stuff. I'm 31. Oh, I consider myself queer/bi. I would really like my next relationship to be a queer relationship because I've never actually been in a real queer relationship. I was kind of in love with a dude for 8 years. 8+ years. Rosie, I know you don't want to talk about weight, but I was wondering, do you... As I talked about, I was gaining weight starting at the age of 7. Also, never mind, whatever. Just because you're hot and I'm bi. I mean, hey, Solo. Where's the DM? Like, I thought I was going to marry that guy, and I used to say, like, yeah, I guess I'll be I guess I'm bi and I'm one of those stereotypes, but now I'm single. And, kind of over men's bullshit. No offense to any men watching. I mean, slight offense. Mild offense. Just a sprinkle of offense. Yeah, I lied about the laundry. The laundry's not happening today, guys. Just FYI. I'll change the title. I need to go do the dishes after this, so my mom is a little less annoyed with me, because it's been a whole 24 hours. Ooh, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I want to be married or very wonderfully in love, with a home and like a really dope life with like travel and I don't know. I just got real confused by the comments. But I currently don't have any pets, but I definitely want at least 2 cats. I really want a bearded dragon. Oh my god, I want a bearded dragon so fucking bad. Holy shit. I want a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons love me. I've met many. Every single one loves to cuddle me. Even if they don't like... There was one that didn't like their owner and loved me. They were mad about that. Absolutely, I do want my own place. I'm trying to move out. Florida's expensive, and I don't really know what's going on with that yet, to be honest. A home in this economy? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm... And in this economy, in this state, fuck me sideways. Are you a political person? In the past, on my social media, I've absolutely been very vocal about my political opinions. There are some parts of politics that I just feel not educated enough to be a source of information on. But as someone who's lived in Florida and been dealing with the scenario surrounding trans people and just DeSantis' bullshit, I have a lot of really strong opinions. And I think it's just crazy to me that people still support him even after, like, the Disney deal stuff. Like, to me, that's, like, a nonpartisan fuck-up. And the fact that, like, he lost $1 trillion of business in the state of Florida, and he's currently alienating Disney so hard that it's, like, if he were to drive Disney out of Florida, it would fuck our economy in the ass. So, I just think, like, things like that, like, I do have opinions on and all of that. I'm not even pro-Disney, but it's, like, an economic thing, right? So... And it's just one of those things of, like, why are you fucking up a good thing? I don't get it. Inflation is out of control. Yeah. Oh, are you in Florida too? Yeah, I'm like 2 hours from Disney. And, I've not been. In fact, like, my super chat I sent to FFG was because, I guess, the video she's reacting to was about that person planning some kind of trip to Disney, like, I'm not gonna say that, but, like, you know, to going, I guess, to Orlando, and I live in the Tampa Bay area, and, yeah, I know, Diane, and it scares the shit out of me, and there's been a lot of really upsetting laws that impact people I care about, like, the fact that, and the fact that they're terrorizing 1% of the community, so, of fucking country, it's crazy, but anyway, so yeah, I have political opinions. I don't really plan on making that a focal point of my channel either. I want to be honest, but I also want to try to not be too divisive about certain things. I mean, I'm probably gonna stand my ground on certain things. I am queer. I don't know what area, but yeah, I heard he lives in Florida too. I don't think he lives too close to me. Oh, that's an assumption, actually. Could you imagine me bumping into Nikocado Avocado in the wild? It'd be nuts. Open source energy? I feel real dumb. I don't even know what that is. How have I never heard that before? Is that in relation to solar power in some way? Or... I'm not familiar with the term. I have a bestie in Canada. Oh. I want to go someday. Thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate that. You know, I just try to be me. And, like, I'm the kind of person that I've been through enough shit where it's like there's enough crap in the world. I don't understand the need to try to make it worse. I believe everyone deserves a base level of kindness until you prove to me otherwise you don't deserve it. No, I don't even know what you're talking about, Charlie. You should send me references on IG. Come on over. Okay, Solo. If you're gonna keep hitting on me, you may as well DM me. Shit. I don't know what you look like. I don't know if you're trolling me. I don't know the deets. Oh, I mean, that sounds lit in theory. I don't know if there's any, like, technical issues. So don't feel dumb essentially using new technology to provide it free for the world. I mean, that sounds like, in theory, amazing. Is this now a dating site? LOJK. Right. I'm not as hot as you, that's for sure. Oh, please. How old are you? That's actually a really important question. Hold on. How old are you? You can't be too young. Dude, did y'all hear about Boogie and his 20-year-old girlfriend? The fuck is that about? I refuse to watch it. I'm not watching The Whale. I still can't see your profile pic. It's so tiny. I'm sorry. OMG ASL. Are we doing that or does that show my age? Had to do it to him. Okay, anyone else want to see this? Guys. Calm down. It's Canada and the US. I'm not trying to move to Canada. Actually, I fuck snow though. I guess so. He tweeted about it. He was just like, yeah, I've got a 20-year-old girlfriend, but like, my God. Weirdo. He's also had some stuff going on. Colleen is out shouting everyone right now. True that. Her tour got canceled. Fuck her. I've been following that shit from the very beginning. Colleen does need jail. Holy shit. Boogie always creeped me out. Yeah, I mean, I've never really been into his content. I don't know too much about him outside of some headlines. Yeah, Colleen is getting on my last fucking nerves too. Holy shit. I saw most of, if not all of Swoop's documentary. I can't remember. I've watched so many fucking videos about Colleen Ballinger. Oh my God. Too many. A lot of them were Adam's because I support Adam emphatically. Ooh, work Toronto. Yeah, we stan Adam in this house. So in one of my more recent vlogs, I actually talked about Trisha Paytas a little bit, but I used to be a fan, found her when Shane posted her, blah, blah, blah. I actually unfollowed her life before Shane, but I stuck around kind of like a low-key hate watcher. And then I used to go on Guru Gossip, actually, and I would write really snarky, like, summaries of her videos because I felt she deserved it. Because with that whole Daniel situation, I think that's his name, the autistic man that she claimed was a stalker and was just, like, really, really, really horrible, too, and, like, ruined his reputation and, like, really... I'm glad he survived it, to be honest with you. Like, completely... like, with evidence, totally lied on him, but then turned around and, like, didn't fully acknowledge it. She still, to this day, hasn't acknowledged what she did to him and how she abused her parasocial dynamic with a vulnerable adult and lied on him so heavily to get out of a controversy. I think it was the Trump controversy, if I remember correctly. When I found out about all of that, I was furious. And I think I did flip-flop once or twice in terms of, like, how strong of opinion I had. Yeah, something going on, Bug? Oh, thank you, Tufa. You have an infectious smile? Oh my gosh. Yeah, she sent children Trisha's contact. That's jail time. Absolutely. And I have a lot of empathy for the current situation Trisha is in. I thought her apology video was spectacular. I couldn't, or not her apology video, I'm sorry, her response video. She has nothing to apologize for. But I felt her response has shown that she has actually been doing therapeutic work in a way that I did not expect. But she's still monetizing and exploiting her precious baby for content. And I have a problem with that. As someone who's very anti-child exploitation. Oh, okay, Bug, got you. She shouldn't be posting her child on the internet. I completely, 100,000,000% agree. I think commodifying someone's childhood for profit on YouTube is deplorable. Period. Family vlogging sucks. Same, Nikki. I felt more respect for her too. I'm late, but here to see your pretty face. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kids don't need to be online. I have a really strong opinion as someone who's not a parent. If I ever become a parent, this is the rule. You're not getting on social media until you're 16, and I'm being generous with 16. At the end of the day, we don't have enough psychological research to back the impact of a child's prefrontal cortex and how that impacts the use of social media and the absolute epidemic of childhood mental illness that's been going on and mental health issues and depression, beyond the fact of the school stuff, the more triggering topics, beyond the things that they're experiencing in that realm, but the access to social media, the unfettered access to social media, and the way that bullying is designed through that, Snapchat, shit like that, Kick, all of that, absolutely not. I want to have children that are able to have a preserved amount of innocence for as long as humanly possible. If I have the resources, my kids would also not go to public school. My goal would be Montessori, but if I don't have the resources, then public school it is, right? But for me, it's just this world is so fucked. That's one of the main reasons I really don't want kids. I don't think I would want to foster, if anything. Oh my god. Dockery doesn't listen. I watch the Dad Challenge podcast. I don't agree with a lot of his political views. I don't like a lot of the ways that he conducts himself. I don't like a lot of the ways that he conducts himself. But I really respect his continuous strong desire to protect children. As someone who was exploited as a child, that's really important to me. Yeah, like I said, Stoner Files, 16 is being generous. I'll let them have a couple years of high school with social media. But that's being generous. And a lot of sit-down, obnoxiously long sermon-style educations about social media and rules. But, I don't want to be like a helicopter parent, but when it comes to the internet, with the shit I've been through and I've personally experienced, fuck that. I cut them after they turn 30. If only, man. It does them no favors to be on social media when they are still developing. Absolutely. They shouldn't want to be, internet famous children. He is kind of a bort hole. Yeah. He does have decent points. Exactly. That's why I watch his videos. Exactly. I feel like he's kind of an ass, to be blunt, but he's an ass with a heart. Yeah, Zen, I think probably 12 from me, but because I was a Neopets kid. Loved Neopets. I was aged out of Webkins, I think. I was born in 91. He does mean well, I believe. I just think the level of I just don't, and I feel this way about reaction channels. I think when they really focus on the dumb shit the size of someone's hands, or like the thumb thing for Dr. D doesn't specifically. Not the freaking Neopets. Yeah, man. Ugh. Loved it. But focusing on that kind of stuff really detracts from the message, right? But that's just my opinion, you know? So glad I was an adult before the internet became a thing. I wonder what that's like. I was raised partially on the internet for sure. YouTube. I was like in the trenches of early YouTube. Ooh, were you a live journal kid too? I wish. I was not confident enough with my writing back then. Also, like I think so. I'm part of what I'm getting done in November is figuring out what undiagnosed learning disorder or disability I have. Because it took me a really long time to learn how to type. And like my handwriting's always been really, really bad. And like I still struggle with writing. Like my letters sometimes get screwed up, and like I mix up letters and stuff. So like that's why I prefer typing now. And now I'm a whiz on a keyboard, but it took me like a couple years to kind of get there, because I literally did typing classes and like I couldn't get the hang of it. So the way I taught myself was like through the internet and like typing and stuff. And I started just typing like this. And I remember eventually I forced myself. I started typing like this, and then eventually it was like this, and then it was like this. And then I figured out how to use the thumbs too. So it was just like I learned one finger at a time, you know? But, I never really got, I don't know. I was kind of in like a mid-range. Like I was really into fanfic.net. I read some fucked up fan fiction as a kid. That's for sure. I was really into Harry Potter fanfic and Gilmore Girls fanfic. Yep. Our computer. Well, eventually we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but my dad was super into computers. So at one point, he was able to zombify me a computer out of a bunch of parts. So like in 2009, I had a Windows 95 computer in my room, but it was my own computer. And back then, that was like a big deal. Most people had like one expensive up-to-date computer that everyone shared, unless you were like rich. In which case, then you might have your own computer, but that was not super common in my area at least. And so I was at that point, you know, able to be a little more spicy with my computer usage in terms of time and stuff. But the thing about my dad though is he knew what he was doing, and he was a big user of TeamViewer. And so there was one time specifically, but he would do random pop-ins, like just to see what was on my screen. And it was not very often, but one time he did it, and it was traumatizing. That's all I'm gonna say. It was actually traumatizing. And you can probably figure out what it was. Ugh, it was bad. You probably figure out the gist, but I promise you the nuance of it is worse. Thinking about it is making me cringe, like hard. I used to roleplay. I've never been good at roleplaying on a live journal. I would write up characters and backstories and stuff. Gotcha. I was really bad at OC. I was more into like established universes. Oh my god, it was so bad. Like oh my god, I just had like a low-key flashback to the, like, I could see because with PTSD and stuff, like, I could see the screen. I felt myself have the heart attack, and, like, I turned off the monitor in a panic, and then I realized that didn't stop it from seeing it, so I yanked the cord out of the wall, flung myself into bed, and covered myself with a blanket. It was just like, I'm gonna die. So, might have been called a math ace. Were you called a math ace? Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember, like, was it math.com? There was some math website I really liked. It was something like that. Favorite guilty pleasure. Ooh. Dad ass, it used to be Girl World. That's not a secret anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of one. I might be wrapping this up soon, by the way. We're hitting about 2 hours. Right now we just hit 2 hours. Woo woo. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think I am going to cut it here. I'm kind of tired, and I need to do the dishes. And am I going to get to my laundry today? Probably not. Oh, yeah, I used to play RuneScape for a hot minute. Oh, let's talk about that for a second. So, yeah, I played Neopets. Oh, my gosh, I was addicted to, like, there was this game, I think it was on the Disney website, Laundry is Calling. Shh. I'm not listening. It was like that experiment, like the one like that was like the number before Stitch, the yellow guy. He held that little plate, and it was like a slider game, you know, and you kind of just like had to move and catch the slices to build like a sandwich or whatever. And I forgot the objective of the game, but God, I played that game forever. And I was really into this like specific game on Neopets, the like destruction tile game. I think it was in like the desert world or like the dinosaur world of Neopets. What else did I do on the internet? What shenanigans was I up to back then? I really was, because of the way my parents raised me, I was very nervous and afraid to interact in more communal spaces on the internet. I did lie about having a MySpace. Gia, that sounds familiar, but I don't remember what that is. I was also a very sheltered child as a Mormon. So, yeah, my dad played Doom. Excuse me. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go. I keep saying that, but I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really hope this uploads. The last one did not. Made me sad. Oh, you have the same dress? Yes, this is an Eloquy dress. Yeah, yep. I bought this off a friend, so, you know, sustainable fashion. It's a very well-made dress. But yeah, y'all have a good night. And I'm always open to messages if you guys ever just want to reach out and chit-chat. I do that. I mean, not a lot of people are talking to me on Twitter yet. All my social media handles are under this username, Quirky Love Rose. I'm trying to get to 1,000 TikTok followers, so if you're on TikTok, follow me, because then I can do lives on TikTok and get my name out there more. Thank you, Bug. You have quickly become an MVP mod. I appreciate you so much. Y'all have a good night, and thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.